Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So, after I recorded, I went back on 11. I worked on the artwork for pages 11 and 12. And I edited the first two audio files when Monica hit Vaughn's without me. She got back at about 12. She had a Monopoly board. She had some tickets. And we were trying to decide if we wanted to bother, logging in the tickets on the website, because I didn't like how it was handled last year, and the only thing I really want is the Fandango tokens, and they made it hard to get them, so I think there's no point. Other than that, we did get two promo tickets that had like 20 to 50 cents off of something, and I can't remember what they were already. I think it's the usual stuff over and over again. So yeah, I completed the artwork for pages 11 and 12. I finished those two audio files, and then I printed out the 69 chapter summaries for the second collab that we did. And the story, I remember it was supposed to be longer, or it should have been longer, but we didn't let it be longer because we just ran out of energy. As in, we got tired of working on it and wanted to work on something else. And I remember thinking I could think of more, but I just really wanted to go to a different project. So I figure when we're done with the first collab and we sit down and read the second collab, I might remember what I wanted to do with it, but I have a vague idea of what I was supposed to do with it, because the characters were supposed to go home, and it didn't take them that long to get there. They took a shortcut. It's like hypothetical shortcut that apparently is possible. I really doubt that. So yeah. Okay, so I got up at 1:20, we rested until 3, but during that time, Monica proofread chapter 52, and we talked about an interesting way to fix it, which was to cut off the part where before Pasha lies to Philippe, and to just make it seem like a cliffhanger, and then he'll tell Fauna what he did later. So yeah, that made it a little bit shorter, but then I still had the issue of, should I put back the scene where he's Philippe tells Clotilda and the bell that he'll squeeze the cervical out of Pasha. I didn't end up putting it back in though, because I already storyboarded past that part and I didn't want to have to change anything. We went back on at 3, and I finished the pages and added text to it and whatnot. We watched the first Eramonga Sensei OVA. It was all about Elf. I don't really care about her. To make the episode even worse, she had a song and dance number, which we skipped through the majority of it. There was really nothing in it for us. We got off at 4:30, right after I finished loading everything. And I think we went to bed about 5-ish. I woke up at 8. I got out of bed at 8:30. I went to go fix chapter 52 and print it out. And then I finished editing the last of the audio. Monica woke up at 4:30 and she got out of bed at 5. I messed around with the Weebly I made a long time ago for our sewing business that we wanted to do, and I changed it so that way it encompassed the other things I want to try to do too, like face ups and doll heads and whatnot. So I changed the name of the website. All I need to do is just put a new logo on it now, but it's not important at the moment. There's another website I need to delete. It was for another comic I wanted to do, but I don't think I'll ever get to it. I feel bad because it was supposed to be the second comic I was supposed to do after Live NPC. Ugh. So yeah. So I stopped after I finished the audio. We ate breakfast and we watched the second OVA for Eramonga Sensei. That the brother got sick and the sister was trying to take care of him, and all the other characters made cameos, and the whole episode left me feeling like, didn't they already do an episode like this before? I feel like there was an episode earlier in the series where so many girls were just visiting. It kind of surprised me they made the girl who works at the bookstore and the girl who goes to school with her were about the same height for some reason. That confused me. I mean, wouldn't the other girl be older and taller? I don't know, that confused me, because I think the other girl was his classmate, wasn't she? Why were they the same height? I don't know, it just confused me. Alright, so I got off at 7:30 and I compressed my video. I resumed work on the chapter 52 storyboard, set my video to convert at 7:40. I completed the storyboard at 8:05. I had to cut the whole ending out, so it ends on a weird cliffhanger where Fauna's like, wait, so are you saying that you're not going to help Philippe? And I just had to cut it there, and I'm like, shit, I wish I could go further than that, but I just didn't have enough space to. So since it was done, I just had to go forward and print out the drafts for that. I went back on at 8:30. I printed out the drafts, loaded my video at 9. I got up at 9:30 to eat lunch, And at that point, I had 3 pages left to print for the draft because I hadn't done all of them. But we had to go to Northgate to get water. The first place we hit was a 99-cent store, and then Target. We decided to get the other new flavors of bubbly. They had a peach bubbly. I think they had raspberry, cranberry, peach, and blackberry all came out simultaneously, I believe. Apparently there's apple, but I've never seen it. I've never fucking seen the apple anywhere. But we got the peach one. It tastes just like the peach pear LaCroix as far as I'm concerned. And then on our way out, we ended up checking the, what was the name of it? Is it, no, I can't remember the name of the store. It's like a beauty store. Monica checked that out to see if they had her shampoo, but they didn't. So we ended up, passing up on that place. And then we hit Northgate and got the water. We got home at 12. I resumed working on the pages. I printed out those last 3 pages. I finished them at 1. And then I spent the afternoon working on the random art that I had laying around, as well as pages 1 and 2, while Monica was reading the first collab. Seems like we're it's chapter 30 something. I feel like in reality I think we'd be at like chapter 60 something based off of how slow the series was actually moving. Because like I feel like every chapter would be like 2 or 3 chapters. That's how much space it would probably take to actually like draw it, or maybe worse. Like it would be at like not 60 but like 120 something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm projecting. So yeah. So we stopped at 3. I'm recording now. I just finished the draft for Ivy's profile. And what do I have left now? I think I have Warren's profile and Tag's profile to line art from the stuff that's ready. Everything else is not ready. And the stuff that was ready to be colored has not been scanned yet. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to succeed with doing these extras. I really hope that they work out. I need to flip back through this portion of the volume again. I haven't done that in a while, so I can get a better idea of what I'm drawing. Other than that, I'm so cautious because of what happened in the last three or four extras that I completed last week. Or last week. It frustrates me because I feel like they're so tone deaf to what's going on, but I feel like, well, what can you do? So like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I should try to make it better or not. In the meanwhile, is there anything else I could possibly say? I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So after I record audio, I went to bed about like 3:30. Couldn't really sleep. Rested until 5. Went back on to scan and work on the pages. I got all the characters line arted up until 6:46. I was too tired to continue. Everything was done except for the backgrounds. So I went to bed about a little bit before 7. Tried to wake up at 12. I only managed to wake up a few minutes before 2. It was good enough. Finished page 1 at 2:13. Finished page 2 at 2:25. Honestly, I would have gotten done a lot faster if I hadn't been looking at all the OneFest pictures. I feel like there was nothing really all that noteworthy during OneFest. I finished assembling the pages at 3:30. I wanted to make new screens, but I decided to just reuse the old ones and just change the characters' facial expressions. So that's what I ended up doing. Got out tired and got off at 3:40. I woke up at 6 a.m. I went back on to color while Monica made breakfast. I got a little bit into page 1 before we started eating. We watched some YouTube videos, then we stopped to hit Albertsons. We got home right before it rained. It got back at like 8:30. I resumed page 1. Monica got done before me at like 10. So she made lunch and I swapped the pages with her so I could start working on the finished pages. After we ate lunch and watched more YouTube, we went for a walk, found a bunch of pennies, got back at like 11:40, and now I'm recording audio, so this is what I need to do. She's finishing page 1. I have to finish page 2. I have to edit the screens that I wanted to use. I wanted to change Ivy's facial expression and Philippe's facial expressions. So that's basically it, I believe. I don't know if I want to change Philippe's eyes too much. I kind of feel like I don't want to overdo it though. Is there anything else? I think I'm definitely going to need to change or make new screens for the next upcoming pages because the characters get more they get more urgent. So yeah, I don't know. I think of putting Ivy directly in front of Warren because, like, of course she'd be more concerned about Fleer than him, and then Warren just being like, "Shit, I have to deal with Philippe." So, is there anything else? I want to talk about One Fist, but there really is nothing there for me this year, at least this season, because like the stuff that I've been waiting for isn't going to be out for a while, and like I don't know if I'm ever gonna like see any of that stuff ever. Yeah, the only token Ranbu characters that were announced were Daihanya and I think Chogi, but I don't care about either of them. I'm like, man, it upsets me that characters that came out before Tomoe and Father are getting stuff, but Tomoe and Father aren't getting anything. I know I figured Tomoe and Father are just not that popular, but like, man, you would have thought that Tomoe would have gotten a figure because of the musicals or something. I guess no one really liked him that much. At least you think he would have gotten a figure based off of audience reception from the New Year's event that was going on. I don't know. Oh, whatever. I don't really care. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. So I went back on at like 12 noon. I worked on the pages until 2 p.m. I only managed to complete one page. Page 1 was almost finished. Page 2 is done. I rested until 3, and then I finished and loaded the pages at about like 4:10. Went straight to bed. I rested until like 7, and then I went to work on the page 3 and 4 drafts. I finished the page 3 draft at 7:19. I finished the page 4 draft at 7:36, I think. And then I line-arted both pages about halfway until 8, and then I went back to bed. I actually managed to fall asleep. Next thing I know, I was waking up at like 11:30. I got out of bed at 1 exactly. I resumed work on pages 3 and 4. I completed page 3's line art at 1:20, and then the page 4 line art at 1:40. And then I assembled and passed the pages out to Monica at 2:30, and then I got off. So, ironically, I actually felt like I got like a decent amount of sleep. I mean, I slept between like 8 and 11, and then, 2 and 6, because I ended up waking up at exactly 6 o'clock. We ended up eating breakfast in the bedroom. We noticed when we sat down that the roofs all around the neighborhood over here were all covered in frost. I thought that was so nice. So yeah, school didn't seem to be in session today. We didn't notice the kids coming or going. We didn't hear them. And when we passed by the school later today, there was no cars in front of it. So I figured that they had a holiday off today or something. So yeah, after breakfast we split up and went to work at 7. I reviewed all of the chapter 53 script I had so far, which is a remainder of Fauna and Byron's conversation. And I ended up going back to the bedroom and pulling out all the notes I took for the plot points that need to happen beyond this point. It's basically the follow-up for like everything that's supposed to happen. And I typed it all out, and I had just arranged it in the order in which I thought it was supposed to happen in. And so far I have content up until 56. The trouble is that 56 is not a complete chapter. It's like a half chapter. So it needs to be accompanied by something else, but I don't know at the moment. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if I'm going to have overflow from any of the other chapters that'll fit into it. I hope not. Oh my god. All I know is that after the Fauna and Byron scene, it makes sense for the follow-up scene to be the Hurricane Brigade talking about what happened. The only thing that kind of bothers me is that later Byron is going to justify turning on Philippe because he thinks that most likely this is going to probably break everybody up. But at the same time, I don't feel like I established enough for him to come to that conclusion. So I don't know. a part of me feels like I should just leave it, and a part of me feels like I'll take care of it later. I don't know, because I can still amend the idea. A part of me feels like I should just go ahead and write the second half scene with Pasha and Fauna, even though that I have the whole scene with the Hurricane Brigade in between me and that, so I need to work on that instead. But I kind of feel like I'm more into the idea of Fauna and Pasha talking about the situation. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to talk about it. So, yeah. Okay, so I ended up typing out those things and I printed them out, and then I found other versions I had typed out in the past, and I printed those out too, and I just cleared off the whole notepad that I had everything saved on. So, yeah. Even though overall I did not make any progress today, I do feel like knowing where to go from here is very, uplifting. But I also still feel that sensation of like there's some little holes that need to be sussed out, especially since I have to get Byron from here to there. So yeah, my hope is to try to get the major action moving by volume 7 and 8. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm hoping to have all these loose ends closed up by 56 and not have anything go over. So from 57, 58, 59, and 60, I have to focus on the major conflict, actually getting the characters into a conflict with each other. So yeah, I stopped at about 9. We decided to go for a walk. Monica just barely finished coloring. We ended up walking down to Vaughn's and got some cheese and shit, and then on the way there, I found a nickel and a penny, and one bottle. We got back, and Monica made lunch while I worked on the pages. I stopped in time to eat, and then after lunch, I stopped to eat, and during lunch, we tried to watch this new anime about this sciencey girl making weird inventions to impress this boy or something like that. And like the first episode, she was trying to get him to drink her pee, and I was like, no. So we stopped watching it. I tried to watch this episode 6 of Mob Psycho 100, but it didn't load fast enough. I kept playing other things on YouTube because I was so tired of waiting for it to load. We ended up finding this woman who makes ornate cookies for a living, and like we just watched her make ornate cookies on her channel. That was fun. I feel like that was way more fun than Mob, so I think tomorrow we'll try again with Mob. All we know is that it started out with Reagan, and that was it. We didn't actually get any farther than that. Other than that, so after lunch, Monica went to go clean up for the bed bug inspection tomorrow. I worked on the pages until like 2:40. I completed the artwork. All I had left to do from that point was the text, but I got tired. So, we're in the middle of resting. I assume we're going to go back on it too. I don't really know. Other than that, this is what I've been thinking of. I'm trying to decide what I want to bring with me when we go to Monica's appointment on Thursday. I'm thinking I should bring all of the illustrations I haven't finished line arting. So far, I have to do Warren and Peg, which I think are the easiest, but I don't need them until like volume 5. And then we have Dominique's wallpaper, which needs to be done because as soon as I get the extras for chapter 33 and 34 done, I have to load all the way up until 35, and then it needs that wallpaper. Other than that, I'm trying to think of other things. From that point forward, I have to do the second extra for for 36, which I'm still concerned about. I don't know if I want to go through with that, if I want to come up with something better. I know there's a scene where Flora tells Shasta to go after Pasha, and I don't remember what chapter that was in, but I kind of want to make an homage to it in the extras. I just have to figure out where it goes first, and then find a way to shove it in there somewhere. And then at some point I need to sit down and type out some Ask Amymone so I can fill up the remaining holes that I don't know what to do with. So I think that's virtually it. I can't think of anything else that of relevance for this week besides Valentine's Day coming up on Thursday, the bed bug inspection being tomorrow. So yeah, alrighty then. I guess that's it. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. So I went back on at about like 2 p.m. I finished and loaded the pages, got off at 3, went straight to bed, tried to sleep, got up at 6:30, resumed work on the drafts, scanned the drafts at about 7, and I line-hearted half of both of the pages until like 7:30, and after that I got so tired and I had to just get off. I slept from, I'm going to say 8 o'clock. I really don't know when I actually fell asleep. 8 until like 12:40, I don't know. I got out of bed around 1 a.m. I resumed work on the line art. I finished page 6's line art at 1:40 and then page 5 at 2. And then I made the new screens and I tried to like edit all the pages and pass it off to Monica, but I just got way too tired, so I ended up getting off completely. I woke up at 6. It was almost like 6:30. It was like 6:20 something. So I went back on, I assembled the pages, and I loaded the episode 6 of Mob Psycho 100. Wow, that was like, if it wasn't for the fact that that was a setup episode setting up for something else, I would have just been like, that episode was not worth watching because it was all about Reagan, and I already felt like Reagan was a piece of shit in the last season. I feel like all it did was just show that he's a big piece of shit and he shouldn't talk kind of, person. So yeah, I almost feel like it really wasn't worth watching, but something's gonna happen the next episode and he has to like deal with that. So yeah, we split up at about like 7 after we ate breakfast, and she went to go color and I went to work on the scripts. Right now I'm doing everything out of order. I have a general idea what order it needs to go in, but I wanted to stay within the scene that I'm currently working on, which is all the Byron and Fauna related stuff. So I worked on that, and then I went back on at 9 to type it out. And around 10, the bedbug inspector finally showed up, and then he walked around with his dog. And I just have to say, it is so embarrassing to have other people come into our houses, even though they're there for an inspection. It just leaves me feeling like we have such an otaku bedroom, and it's so embarrassing. There's all this anime shit everywhere, and I'm just like I hate it. Oh God. Okay, so I think we sort of more or less passed the bedbug inspection, because like all he said was that he was done and that was it. And because if the dog had reacted in a certain way, then he would have said something. So I guess we're fine. Other than that, afterward, Monica finished making lunch. We ended up watching the first episode of the new Twinkle Star Precure or something like that, or Star Twinkle Precure. I can't remember what its name is specifically. Okay, I have to admit, I haven't really watched a Precure from beginning to end since Go Princess Precure. And that was like, what, 2015 now? I don't remember, 2014, 2015, around then was when I watched it. It was by far the first Precure I ever completed, and like I was really invested in it. And like I didn't bother watching the Maho Tsukai Precure. And now I kind of feel like I should, because that was considered a good version. I did try to watch the sweets one about baking pastries. The first episode of that did not sell it to me, and like Monica and I didn't like it. And then the one that came out this last year that just barely finished recently had the worst first episode I've ever seen. It was so hard to care. And like this new one had a solid first episode. Monica said it was a bit slow, but I felt like the other ones before it felt so jumbled it was hard to figure out what I was supposed to be into. And like this one, I got really invested in it, and I'm like, I can't wait to watch this one from beginning to end. I hope it doesn't like drop at any point, but like I really like it. It's good. I didn't think I would, honestly, but like, yeah, I'm so excited to watch this one through, because like, it gave me that like nice sensation of like it was like taking its sweet time to really like get us interested in the character. I mean, she got the little fluffy puffy little mascot at the beginning, and then the whole episode is just about her and the mascot and trying to figure shit out with each other. And like that I feel like made perfect sense, as opposed to like trying really hard to like establish what the character's goal is and then throwing everything else around it and then try to make up a connection for everything when there really is none. So yeah. But at the same time, I also feel like my only issue with it is the battle sequences. Even though I've only seen one battle so far, I feel like it really feels like what they wanted was Maho Shoujo-ness and Gundam-ness at the same time, because like the battles were indistinguishable, like any mecha space battle. And I feel like that was actually a big flaw. That was not something I would consider to be a good thing. but like it was really hard to follow like what was going on because there was no sense of like area in space. They're just floating around randomly, and like I think that's just one of the issues with outer space shit. So yeah, I don't know how to whatever that. Okay, so after the word we got off, I think it was about like between like 11 and 12. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the time. We reset up our bedroom because the dog was coming in, we moved the blankets on the floor that we treat them like rugs and we sit on them. I put back my blanket. I have to find hers though. Other than that, she remembered last night we were supposed to take a shower, so we just did that right now. She's still showering. I'm out, so I'm recording. This is what needs to happen. I need to finish pages 5 and 6. She wants to go to Target. I think I'll give her the excess change so she can go do that. Other than that, I don't feel like I can go out right now. I have to work. Also, later today is the crochet club, and she has to go to that, and she has to return to them the hook that she got from the first one. So I hope that works out for her. I wonder if the group is going to shrink over a period of time, or if it's going to be the same amount of people per every meeting or whatnot. I don't know. All I know is that they said they would bring them new stuff, so she might come back with a new crochet hook that's officially hers. I already bought her one, but it might be a different shaped one. And then she might come back with more yarn. It really just depends. So is there anything else I could possibly say about that? Monica's appointment is on Valentine's Day, and we're gonna go to it, but I need to like think of what I need to bring. Either if I finish chapter 53 script this either today or tomorrow, I'm probably going to bring it with me to not today or tomorrow, either on Wednesday or Thursday morning. If I manage to finish chapter 53 script, I will storyboard it. However, if I don't finish it, I'm going to line art all the artwork that has not been done yet. So far, I have, if I finish the scene with Fauna and Byron and Pasha, I will have the majority of chapter 54 done. So all I would need is the little ending with Loris, and that's it. So I feel like if I just attack everything one scene at a time, I should probably get through all the way up until like 56, where that was the point in which I ran out of ideas. And 56 will take me to the end of March. That is if I don't do a 2-week vacation. And like Monica and I agree, it seems like the best idea to do a 2-week vacation so I could just get through the remainder of volume 4 if it's not done yet, because I have a sinking feeling this last week of February I'm probably not going to get through all of volume 4, and to just try to rush through volume 5, because like I volume 4 took so fucking long to do, and I still feel like I haven't loaded what I finished. I have to load everything that I worked on the last vacation. It was just really bad. And I keep writing on my calendar to work on the first extras for chapter 34 and 33 in that order, because 34 is easier. But I keep forgetting to do it. And so I feel like if I could at least do that like the week before we have to go on vacation, like the Monday beforehand, I could spend some time just loading everything up. But like I'm feeling a sensation of like, God, what if volume 3 ends before I can load volume 4, which is bad, because like if I can only get half of volume 4 loaded, then I'm gonna have a big issue. I also need to draw a graphic explaining that the series is going to start taking breaks because at some point the buffer and the queue buffer is going to run into the current place of production. We guesstimate that it'll be sometime in 2020. The buffer is going to completely catch up with actual production, so we need to start holding it back now. So like, I don't know. I'm just trying not to freak out, because like I know what certain extras are supposed to be. I just need to stop and like look through the extras. I don't know. That's just why I want to like line art through what's ready. So what I have that I haven't worked on is Dominique's wallpaper needs to be finished because the extras for chapter 35 are done. I need to do the what was it? This stuff for I think it's 37. I'm not sure if it's 37 or if it's 39. Oh, I don't remember which ones they were. I think it's 37 and 38, maybe. I don't know, but I have some extras. I think it's 37. as soon as I get that out of the way, then I'll come catch up to certain ones, because I have a lot of chapters that have like one extra and not the second one, and I feel like it's gonna be a lot of me just kind of trying to check all those boxes off so I can load from hopefully from chapter 33 to chapter 37, because like that's where all of it's mostly done. But when I come to 33 and 39, I got nada. Actually, I think I have something Monica worked on recently. I have to color that in. So I'm supposing if I don't print out drafts, if I don't print out chapter drafts this weekend for chapter 53, I'm probably going to just print out or just work on extras and try to catch up. I really need to work on the Ask Amymone. I just don't know how many of them I'm going to need. So I figure that during this last vacation, we should be finally, like, at least I should be knocking out all of those. If not, I don't know. So yeah, I gotta think of something. I gotta hurry to get done, because like I'm just getting so nervous about not being done yet. Oh, this is so annoying. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Not that I can think of. I'm eagerly waiting Valentine's Day. That's virtually it. Because like as soon as all the Valentine stuff is sold, the Easter stuff goes up in a heartbeat. And like I've been kind of looking forward to the Beanie Boo Easter items, because as far as I know, a chicken is going to be one of them, and I just don't know when it's going to come out. Is there anything else that's happening? No, I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. So I rested until 12:40. I went back on at 12:45 and I resumed work on the pages. Monica ended up hitting Target without me, and while she was gone, I ended up browsing Pixiv in between working, and I ended up finding the Yu Yu Hakusho tag, and I found Botan's tag, and in the process I ended up finding all this Kurama and Botan fan art, and Japanese fans call them Kurabo. I was so surprised. Oh my god. I'm surprised it's still a thing. Because like back when I was into it, I was in high school. I'm surprised that there's still people who are into it. It's just like, I don't know. Okay, so I got tired and I got off at like 3:16. I don't know what time Monica got back. I think she got back an hour later. She ended up coming back with some grandma's chicken. So yeah, we ended up watching a bit of the internet together, and then I rested until 4:30. I went back on, I finished and loaded the pages. I got off at 5. We hung out until Monica had to leave for the crochet club, and she left at 6:20, I think. I went back on the computer at like 6:31. I scanned the drafts at 6:51. I finished and scanned the lineup for page 8 at 7:45, and then page 7 at 8:18. Monica got back then, and we watched a comedian for a little bit. Then I got off and I went straight to bed. I woke up right before 1 a.m., but I had a really hard time getting motivated to get out of bed. I didn't really want to. I ended up getting out of bed like 3, and I went straight back to work on the pages. I finished the edits at about like 4:33. I drew new screens for Warren and Ivy. I finished and I got off at 5:20, rested until 6:30, kicked Monica out of bed, we ate breakfast, and then we split up at 7 a.m. I resumed work on the chapter 53 and 54 script, so I ended up writing out the scene that's supposed to go in the beginning of the end of 53, and then I wrote the scene that was supposed to go at the end of 54, and I went on at about like around about 9 o'clock, I think, was it? No, I don't remember. It was 8? Yeah, it was 8. Okay, so I went on, stopped working at 8, and I went on the computer, and Monica showed me the Frozen 2 trailer came out, and oh my god, okay. First off, I just want to say I never liked that movie. Mostly because I love the original Snow Queen. I feel like I shit on it. The only thing I liked about the movie was the message that you don't have to be in a relationship, because that was pretty much Elsa's thing. She didn't end up in a relationship with anybody, and like from what I heard is that fans have been petitioning her to be a lesbian, which makes me so frustrated as an asexual that I always have to share my heroes with lesbians, and like I just would love like one hero or heroine or whatever that could just not be forced to be in a relationship. And it's just it's so annoying. If she ends up in being a lesbian, I'm gonna feel like they took the one little thing I liked about her and they got rid of it, which is that she didn't need anybody but her sister. That was a message I could identify with, and I felt like I take that away from me. So yeah. Okay, so overall the trailer was not impressive. In fact, the beginning came out very try-hardy. I was just not interesting. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go see that movie. I kind of doubt it. Alright, so I printed out the chapter 53 script at 8:24. And then I printed out the chapter 54 script at 9. I updated my planner. Monica passed the pages off to me, and then we decided to go visit Walmart. Instead of going straight to Walmart, though, we went straight to Target. In fact, in retrospect, we never ended up getting there to Walmart. We hit Target. It rained a little bit. This is the Target on Euclid. And then after we were done browsing Target, we hit TJ Maxx and Ross, and we looked at their notebooks. I only found like one notebook from TJ Maxx that I really wanted, and Ross had a ton of nice books. But we didn't have enough money for them. Though what we really were looking forward to is going back to the Red Ribbon Bake Shop next to Jollibee and getting I think it was a 6-pack mamon. I thought it was 8-pack. Monica pointed out it was a 6-pack. Makes me upset. But yeah, we were so tired that we ended up eating 2 because it was just like we were so hungry we hadn't had lunch yet. On our way home from the Anaheim Plaza, we ended up going home in the rain, and Monica's tire got flat right as we were arriving to the apartment complex. So it's flat now, and we don't have the money to fix it. So I got home at like 12:30. I resumed work on the pages until 2. I took a break. I still need to do the new screen for Warren and Ivy. I haven't finished it yet. At 3, we're planning on going down to the women's meeting, so that's going to happen next. I'm recording. This is the 5th recording of the week. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I'm really looking forward to it. There's not really much we had planned besides Monica's appointment. The only thing I'm going to be doing is the storyboard for the appointment, which kind of upsets me because I wanted originally to work on the artwork I hadn't finished. But as long as I'm 2 scripts ahead, I feel like it's good to go ahead and try to catch up with all the extras now. So as soon as that's out of the way, as soon as this entire chapter's out of the way, I'm going to try to slam through the extras that are not done yet. So I don't know where I'm going to find the time, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. Other than that, I think that's virtually it. I can't think of anything else to talk about. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. So we went to the women's meeting. During the meeting, I knocked out the drafts for pages 9 and 10. They gave us some Valentine's candy and cookies, so we didn't eat it. We just ended up bringing some of it home. I got home and I finished working on the artwork for pages 7 and 8. I got too tired to do the text and I got off at 5. I woke up at 10 p.m. and I went back to work on the text for pages 7 and 8. And then I finished and loaded them at 11. I printed out the drafts for pages 9 and 10 at 11:20. I finished the page 10 liner at 11:50, and I got tired and I got off at 12. I woke up at 3 a.m. and it was raining really hard. I got out of bed at 3:30 and I resumed work on the page 9 line art, and I finished it about like 4:23. Monica got out of bed around that time and she started to make the Valentine's pizza early. At 5, I passed her off the pages, so she decided to work on them. And while she was doing that, I line arted Warren's profile picture. We stopped for a little bit and we ate pizza for breakfast, and then I finished Ivy and Tag's profile pictures, and then I went back on at 6:30. I scanned them, and then I started
trying to brainstorm more ideas for the straggling extras. I still cannot think of anything for the first extra for chapter 39. I feel so frustrated with that. So instead, I started messing with the calendar, and I ended up predicting all the way up to the end of the series. The cube is most likely will end in December. That is, unless we get all the assets done early, then I won't need to keep using 3-week breaks anymore. So it might end a little sooner. That's best case scenario. I don't know though. So as far as working on it goes, we had the potential of ending the series sometime between June and July of 2020, as in the production. So like, I don't really know. I ended up, or Monica ended up passing me off the pages at 7:20. We weren't going to be leaving until like 8:30, so I decided to start coloring. I got off around 8, and then we started preparing to leave for the CCS about like 8:10, I think it was. We left home at about 8:36, and we got there at like 8:50 something. At the CCS, I completed the storyboard for chapter 53. I could not fit the last scene where Dominique gets a message from Philippe. It has a follow-up scene, which is the only reason why I thought I could make it into the chapter, and those 2 scenes are going to have to end up being in the extras, I think. The trouble is that the audience needs to know that Dominique has decided to use the gun. At the same time, I don't really know if my patrons are actually reading it, because it'll only be confusing to the patrons. It won't be confusing to the people who are following the completed versions, because they'll just read it including the extras. So I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, I guess the patrons could do without it. It'll just be like Fouillard all over again, because I didn't really get to show much between Fouillard leaving and whatnot. What happened, because like what happened for him was that one moment he was with Gin, and the next moment he was with them, and that was it. And there was a lot of stuff in between, so I figure it's probably gonna look like that. I don't know. So yeah, I started storyboarding for chapter 54, but Monica got out early, so I didn't get very far into that. Monica ended up getting switched back to her original dedication. I think it's called Invega. So she's no longer taking Latuda, and she's no longer taking what was the name of the other stuff? Fuck, I can't remember. Rexalti? Yeah. Okay, so we got home at about 10:40, and then we made lunch. We drank the last of the cider. I did a little bit of coloring before we started watching Twinkle Precure, the second episode. I finished shading page 10, and I took a break at 12:13, and we spent the whole time talking. I didn't get a chance to talk about the second episode of Twinkle Precure. We did some skipping of the fight sequences because they were kind of eh. I feel like there's really nothing at stake as far as the fights go, but I did feel like it was interesting that the major overall moral of this episode was like, you have not because you asked not. I feel like that's what it was. We're asking, you shall receive. And the alien princess really, alien girl just wanted to be a Precure, and like she ended up becoming a Precure. So I don't know. Nobody was surprised. The only thing I don't like about this season is the characters sing while they're transforming. I don't know if it's new for this season or if it was for the last season also. All I know is that I find it slightly irritating. So yeah. This makes me want to go back and watch the last movie, because like I haven't seen it yet. I did link it, but I didn't get a chance to actually watch it. Alrighty, so as I was saying, we spent the time between 12 to right now, which is like 2 something. I have no idea what time it is. I think it's almost 2:30. We spent that time just wandering around talking, and we put away the Christmas tree. Technically it's a Valentine's tree because it had all the ornaments on it were pink and heart shaped, so that's just why we kept it up until Valentine's Day. So the tree is down. Monica didn't want to put the flowers back in the kitchen, which kind of disappointed me a little bit. So she's just filling out her journal. I just finished filling out mine. I need to go back on and finish pages 9 and 10, and then I need to get a jump on pages 11 and 12, and then we'll be done with chapter 51 for this week. And then the following we'll be working on chapter 52, which is going to be half of it's going to be the conversation between Pasha and Philippe, but part of me feels like I want to reword specific parts of it, but I have to think of what I want to say in replacement. And then the other half of the scene is Fauna and Byron. And I also feel like parts of that conversation needs to also be reworded, but I feel like not during his portion, which is what's on 52. I feel like it's in her portion at 53. I was thinking about that when I was drawing through the storyboard, that something felt like it was missing. So I'm hoping to get that out of the way. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to work on 55 and 56 during the break. I think I can probably knock it out at the beginning of March. I'm not sure. It really just depends. But the follow-up for that is that Warren could get back in contact with Loris. I really hope I can fit the scene with Loris and the others in that, because like if I can't, then I'm gonna have to work around it, because like it's very important that he's in there, because like if I allocate him to just extras, I don't think it's gonna have the same impact. So I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, this is the 6th recording. I need to edit the audio and then upload the video. I have to do that tomorrow. So wish me luck. I will see you in the next one.